Gmail. Start చేస్తా స్టార్ట్ చేస్తా Yeah, once again, I welcome all. Good morning and happy Sunday. Just for a warm up, just interact with me for 1 minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
I didn't hear you anything. Anyone at least? Am I audible? Is I'm audible?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yeah. Thanks, Sherry. Okay, we'll start with. I'll just share my presentation. Just give me a minute. Yeah, is this visible now? Is this visible? Hello, my check 1 2 3. Is this? Thank you. Thank you, Romeo. So, we start with today's section with Java. I hope all had your breakfast a good way, and let's start with starting itself programming. I know it is, and I want to give you an intro about this section. As you know, the agenda is Java, and in Java, we're going to learn about very few topics like class and objects, array of objects and methods, and scanners and strings. Only this, because this is enough for you to clear ILP. And main thing, I'll just instruct you one thing very serious, that the person, I know everyone going to clear ILP. Even you know the coding, even you don't know the coding, you will sure clear, because I know the concept. I know what going background or what going to be happen on next Thursday. So everyone will clear ILP. The person who don't wish to get in scope, get in depth, or don't, I don't want that much in depth, I want only to clear ILP, can leave out this section now itself, because today I'm not going to give you only concentration of ILP. Means I'm going to explain you about ILP, but I want to only clear ILP. I don't want any other further information. I kindly request you, you can take your own time and you can take rest. But this section is only for the person. I want to clear ILP by my knowledge. I want something about Java. I need to acquire some knowledge about Java, then I can clear the subject. Okay, here is the link I said. So here we have around 60 codings, 60 short codings and 60 long codings you have. So this link is sufficient for the person. I want only to clear the ILPA, but I don't want to listen to Java, or else I don't want to know about Java at all. But I want to clear ILPA. For that person, this one link is enough. I've just shared this link now itself. So the person who are okay, I don't want that much content. I want only to clear ILP. Can have your time and can rest. But the person who in this meeting, I request you to stay if you are so interested in Java, because this Java is going to be, this section is going to be little startup, would be little theoretical, then it will go a rest of thing with more interesting parts. So I request the person who are so interested in Java alone to be stay and alone to be attentive. Clear about that? So the person who need to be clear ILP alone can use this link, and this link will have content of 60 codings around basic codings, the type 1 coding and type 2 coding, which I represented yesterday agenda 1 plus 1. One first question is around 15 marks, and second question is about 35 marks. And both codings, almost 60 codings are here. From this, you will get one. Okay. And the person who is interested to learn Java can reside with me, can learn with me, and we will revise our knowledge in this section. Clear about thing? I think I given a good ideology about this section now. So with the thumbs up symbol, I can move on to our section. May I get one thumbs up at least? Thank you. Thanks a lot. Here is the section about today's section is Java, as I said before itself. So some 1 to 3 slides about Java basics. Why we need to know Java? Why Java is so important? Why we need to drive into coding languages? So that's the intro. Before going to Java, already all persons know about C and C++, and everyone have ideology about coding languages, programming, but no one know ideology about why you are studying coding languages, right? Everyone know what is C is a basic language which will use to give programmatic analytic expression towards a system and you will get an output. This everyone knows, but anyone can answer why we are studying programming language, why we need to know C and C++. So it's not that much hard. It's very simple question. Why we need to study programming language? As I am a person who always determine and solution with WH questions. If you are answering WH questions, then you are at the proper right way and you are at the benchmark. For example, why I am here? I'm a TCSN, I'm a TCS employee, and why I am here? Where I am here, what I am doing, when I did join TCS. If I answer all those questions, then I have a good analytic that this going to happen the next. Okay, this is a secret of my ideology. If you answer one thing, one take one part, and if you answer all the WH question, then you can find out the next solution what you want. Even the murder case is solved like that. Three WH question murder case will solve easily. What, when, where, and why, what the motive. If you solve these three questions, you will solve a murder case easily. If you solve all seven WH questions, then it is piece of matter that who is the culprit we can find out. So like that, everyone knows Java is a programming language. Everyone knows C and C++ is a programming language. If I ask what is programming language, you all will say that it is an algorithm by step will solve to get an output, desired output of an user. But the question is why we need to know programming language. So if interested, I give pass a 1 minute. Anyone can answer, or else I'll go with my answer. And this is very interactive section. I make all to be interactive because I also get sleep at some time. For sharing and learning, good. For sharing and learning purpose. Time efficient, good, good. I'm getting good answer. You can send that link again, please. Oh, okay, I'll send you. Don't worry, I'll send you.
Then
Again, I'll send you at last. So persons are so interested on the link rather than this section. I'm happy about. Yeah, okay. So good, good. Programming language. Why we need to know is that, see, why we are learning languages is to, because see I am no Telugu, Tamil, and English. Why I know that? To communicate with each other. So programming language. Why we need to know is that I need to communicate with system. Very basic. What is programming language? Programming language is not that whole the thing. The programming language why I'm studying is that I need to communicate with my system. I have one system, one dabba. I need to communicate with it. I need to have some instruction to say and it need to give me some output. For that the reason we need to know what a programming language. In this programming language there are different types of programming language. The very first programming language is, everyone will say C, but the very first language is A is a very primary language which was created, but it is not popular at all. After A, it comes B, then only C. Many person have doubts why it came for C. C is the alpha version. The beta versions are A and B, and all will know A and B laboratory it was created, right? Actually, A and B is a language which was developed first, but it's not hit. It have very good errors in it, and it is not that much complicated, and it is not that much competency to evolve. So they created another language that is C, which is very basic and which is have a good competency and it have a good efficient. So the C has been evolved. C is an high level language. Why we say as high level language? Because everything we write in an English. Coding we write in English. We won't do a 0101 001 like that. Binary we will give, but we will give an English words. If this happen, do this, or else do this. So if and else are the two keywords we are using in the program. So we say as C as an high level language. We go into Java now, straight into Java. Why they leave C and C plus plus they went to Java? That if we know, then we know about Java somewhat deeply. The first thing they came from C++ to Java is that C and C++ are structure oriented. Structure oriented, in other words, we say as procedure oriented. Mean line by line it will go. It won't have any security purpose reason, or it won't have any security involved. But Java is more secure. It have good security compactness or good security persons. It is pure object oriented programming language, which we say as pure object oriented concept. Java is very it's good some in pure object oriented, because every program we do in object oriented programming. So what is object oriented program? Before that, another there is another compatibility from C to Java. First thing is pure object oriented, and second thing is security. As I said before, if C, you can hack C in a good manner, because it don't have any security reasons, it don't have any security complaints. But Java is have very security complaints, that it is stored in class and object. Without object it can't access the class. We'll see about what is class and object and all, so we'll understand the concept. So Java is purely object oriented, so everything you do in Java, it should be in class. Clear about this one point from C and C++? For C, you will write void. For C, for example, just a minute. See, if you take C, you will put as hash include. So this your first coding, right? Void main, space and void main, right? Then you'll have open place, you will put as printf. I hope everyone will know about this, right? This your first code in C, right? But if you take this the same in Java, it will take like class world, inside class world public static. I'm going to explain all those things, don't panic, but I'm saying system dot out dot println hello world. So this much huge it is Java. If it is Java, see here the only difference is in C the both output are same. It will give also hello world as output. This is also give a hello world as. But the thing is, it won't involve any class and objects. It don't have any class. But here you are creating a class. The class name is what? World here. So that's the only difference from C and C++. C is always procedural and structure oriented, where C++ is an object oriented, pure object oriented, not object oriented only, it is pure object oriented. What else you created in Java is must be created inside a class. Clear about Java intro first? So it is pure object oriented concept. So these are the points, just as traditional we used to give some history about Java, right? So I'm going to skip this thing. As all know, it is created in green talk. That's all things you know about. Then we go into agenda of today's class. We're going to see what is class and object first. Then we're going to see what are how we can use some methods in class and objects. Then we're going to see array of the object. I rarely prefer that. If you want to clear ILP, you need to concentrate in this topics. That is enough. No need to go for inheritance. No need to go for polymorphism. No need to go data abstraction, data encapsulation. No need to go all these core concepts now itself. If you are sufficient, you need to clear ILP with coding alone, then these are the four concepts is enough for you. If you concentrate on these concepts, you can clear ILP in a good manner. Clear? So the things are class and object, methods, array of object, and scanner and strings. If we cover in this part, everything inside ILP codings will be in this area alone. It will cover in this area alone. So first of all, we're going to see class and object. So everyone with me is class and object. These are the thing I'm going to say, and I forgot one point. Why Java is that independent in running. Java is very independent to run. If see, for example, I have this code, right? I compile this code and I get an output file. If I share this output file with my friends, no one will work. No one will get an output unless I share this code. Okay. But in Java, if I compile, there is one file created as class file, dot class file. If I share that file to every my friends, everyone can run it because it is independent to run. We're not going to go that much core complex of Java. Just have an idea that is independent to run with the help of JRE, Java Runtime Environment. So clear about still for any doubts still for, so that I'll go into the first section. Very important topic as class and object. As I said, Java is always pure object oriented. So we're going to see about what is class and object, then we'll go in. Is that clear what I said? Yeah, thank you. First topic is class and object. What is class and what is object? Many persons have very good doubt about why always going class and object. There is no good stuff. You can't create object straight itself. Why we need to go class? Then we need to go object. That's one reason why they went for class and object. The first thing, this basic definition: a class is a group of objects which have common property. The first thing is class will have common property, and it's a template or a blueprint. A template, a blueprint is a structure. It is like a structure which objects are created. In that structure, some objects are created. Okay, and it is a logical entity. It cannot be physical. We'll go with the definition. I have a good real-time example also. Just wait for me. So another thing is an object, an entity that has the state and behavior is known as object. Means here it's have blueprint means this is the entity. Clear? For example, I have n number of blueprint for chair. The chair can have four legs. The chair can have cushion. The chair can have armrest. These and all class, which is blueprint, which is idea, and the object is I am creating a chair for me. I create wooden chair. Okay, it's not logic. It created. It is a physical entity. The chair is created in wooden. The chair can be created in steel, and it can be painted as blue, and it can be painted as red. Class means all the chairs are named as chair, but objects are the individual chair which have a good color. Like one chair would be red or white or blue, like that. The physical entity we say as object, the logical entity we say a class. Have an idea, we'll have real time idea now. So see here the left hand part here, the this we say as what? As a design, right? This we say as blueprint. I have a blueprint. I hire one architecture. I said him I want a good blueprint for my house. So he will design me a blueprint. Clear. But this is a blueprint that I can use and build my own house. And this blueprint my friend also own. So he can also build the same building in his nearby. And this blueprint, the architecture going for next project, if he feels that that blueprint is good, he can use the same blueprint and he can build another building also. So blueprint is a logical entity. It's not a physical entity. It's very logical entity which is shareable to everyone. It's just a structure which I can implement. Clear? But the physical entity is my house. See here, there are three houses which is resemble the same blueprint, but I given a different property. One house is brown color, one house is little pale blue, and another one is greenish. I taken the swimming pool, I given some gardening waste. So these are the logical. It's not logical, illogical, a physical entity. Mean I applicable this logics here, but I have different data in it. Simple. Now you get simple idea. The blueprint is like a structure, or blueprint is the scenario or the concept where the object is the data what you have. So simple. Class is the data types, a general group of data types which is common for every object, but object is the entity data which is differ for every object. We'll have this idea so you'll understand further clarity more. See here, a class name known as employee. So all employee have name as string, id as integer, address as string. But every employee have its own name. For example, I am object 1. I have name as John. The second person object 2, he have the name as Julie. She have the name as Julie. And object 3 have James. So n number of objects here. Everyone have the name as string. The blueprint is common for everyone, I said, right? So every object have the same name as what? String name. But the name inside, the data inside is John, Julie and James. Now you got to understand? The class is the structure which is common for every object, but the object have the different data. Clear or not? So that I'll go next towards some idea next, or else I'll just explain it more. Yeah, okay. So the thing is, class is a common entity which is a blueprint. It have the data types which is common, but the datas of the objects are different. So the data around all the object will be have different types, means different datas, but the types are same. The object one name have the data type of string, but the object two data types also string, object three data types also string. Yeah, thanks for the question, Jyoti Anand. You can create n number of classes inside another classes. That we say as two concepts you can create. One concept is nested class. If you creating a class inside another class, that we say as nested class, or else dependent class. I can create object for another class in this class. Okay, I'm happy that you are asking me about this class things, but now we need to see what is class first, because the basics we are going right. Thanks for your asking the question. See here, the blueprint is common for every object, but the data's inside are different. I think I given a good idea about class now. So shall we go the first coding of our part? So we're going to see what is how we can create a class and objects, and how we going to go all those things we're going to see. So I take, as my system is little dependent on my environment, I'm going for online compiler, online Java compiler. I'll take another Java compiler. Online Java compiler. Hope this Java compiler is visible to everyone. So see, we're going to create one coding now. So already I have been said you right. Everything should be created in class. What is public here? Public is the visibility. It is visible to whole the system. Then we need to put public. Class name is what? Hello world. Here I created a class. This class name is hello world. Inside you must have public static void main. It's like the same you have in C and C++. See, in C you will always have hash include, that is the package which is defaultly you need to type in order to use the packages. And you need to have void main. Why we are creating void main? Because that is the very first step where program will see you have 100 lines of code, but the where the system will start reading is the where the place you have void main. Okay, so you can have 100 lines before that, and you have void main function at the last. The system will go straight towards the last line, go to the void main, and it will start running from here. So like that, the same in Java also you need to have this word as public static void main. This is string array RGS. What string RGS is it? You will return some values towards OS. If you finish one coding, a code has been completed, you can return some parameters towards OS, and OS can return some parameters to coding. That is useful for this one line. String args, you can give some arguments towards this code. For ideology, I'm saying this is not that much important now. In your core concept, you can do it. So this, so printf, you have printf in C, right? Printf means it's going to print function. We say printf as print function. It's going to print it. Here we have the same print function as this much line. System.out.println. System need to give output that should be print a line. That's the mean. Okay. System going to give an output as a printing line. So what line I need to print is hello world. So we're just going to execute it. So you'll understand. See here, it's going to get as hello world. This is a very basic first coding, that you need to create a class. Inside the class it should have public static void main, and it should means in public static void main your logic should. A question arises, what if I'm not creating public static void main? Okay, I created any some other names. You put an command line here. Okay, I created a function, a user defined function. It's not public static void. So what it will do, it will gives an error, says that there is no public static void main, or there is no void main here. Just a minute. As I said before, every class should have, means the main class should have the main method. If it is not main method, the system will say that there is no starting point where I can start. See, if there is a book, you need to have a starting point. Where is the starting point? Where is the end point? You need to know. In coding also, the public void main is the starting point. The system will go here, then only it will read the content and it will start the code. So you should have public static void main string args in order to run a successful code. Clear about first point? A very simple coding is that public static. We're going to create a class here, class name, and we're going to create a void main, and we're going to call it. Clear? Any doubts still far? So that we're going to create first class, and we're going to call it. Clear about it until this?
What is the use of string arguments?
Again, I will say that string args is the arguments you're going to give towards a code. For example, what is arguments? Arguments are the parameters which I pass towards a coding. For example, how to say? Let me give a good example. See here, I'm going to CMD. I'm going to start Chrome. If Chrome, I can give some arguments like chrome.help, or sorry, E, sorry. So I'll give another one. If I give tree, it's going to give me a tree. Okay. If I don't know what tree going to do, I can put tree hyphen help. So it will says that, see, this hyphen h is the argument. This is the program. Tree is the program, but hyphen h is the argument. Arguments I'm passing that. I'm giving some options. Simple. Arguments are options. Clear? So this is the program and hyphen h is the option I'm giving that. I don't know what it is. Let me explain me what the tree will do. So this is the arguments. If OS is passing some arguments, which going to get it is that this one line will get the arguments. Clear about what is arguments is? Not that much core depth we're going to go, but for ideology I'm saying that if sometimes OS is sending some arguments to hello world, OS sure will send. If this code is running repeatedly, OS will send an argument to close that. Please terminate that coding. That argument will OS send. That will receive by this one line and it will process. Clear about arguments now? So we will go inside further. I hope it is clear now. So we'll go next thing. Inside class, what we're going to do. As I said before, we're going to create an employee ID name. We're going to do only two things. We'll skip the address. Address would be little huge, so we'll skip. We'll go into string and ID. So I'm going to create, already said, I have class. Class name is hello world. Inside hello world, I'm going to create one data type as string, and string it have the name, and also another data type as int, and it going to have the id. Clear? As I said, so class name emp, so here it is hello world, right? Hello world. In class hello world have a string name data type and integer as an id. String is the collection of characters, id is numbers. Okay, then I'm saying that inside public static void main, I need to create an object. So in order to use an object, you need to create an object. So what is the syntax to create an object is hello world, the class name, object name obj1 equal to new hello world. Again the class name. So this how in this one line it will create one object for me. See here, now this class is I am created, and now only I created one object. I didn't know object 1, object 2, I didn't create it. In this one line hello world class name object equal to new class name will create one object for me. So indirectly this object will have a name property and an id property, but data is not defined. I still didn't define any data. Object will have two properties now. One is name property, which is string data type, and id, which is integer data type. Okay. Again, I am going to create another object for me, which is object 2. So now I created how many objects? Two objects I created. Now again I am creating another. Okay, let it be two objects. So the third object will wind up. Now I have object 1, object 2. I need to give object 1 name as John and object 2 name as Jude. So I can create an obj1 dot name equal to John. Okay, again I'm saying obj2 dot name equal to Julie. Clear? I'm saying that obj1 dot id equal to like 13254 something, some id, and it should have a semicolon. Please remember that everything should be in a semicolon, because semicolon says that it is terminated. And I have some numbers here. So see here, I just created two different objects in the same class, and object 1 have name and id, object 2 have a name and id, but object 1 name is John and object 1 id is 123458879, and object 2 name is Julie and object 2 id is 898 somewhat. If I printing it, I'm going to print everything. System dot out dot print ln of, I'm creating obj1 dot name and to name. Let me a twist. First I'm printing 2, then 1. Now say me what would be the output format. Give a time. I give a time. Let me, okay, what would be the output? Let me know what would be the output. I execute it for you for now. Next time I'll ask you what would be the output. The second thing, I have an error that cannot find the simple hello world. Sorry that I am very bad in spelling mistakes. It should be capital word. Class name should be the same the class name. I use small w. Okay? So see the output. Output is Julie, because object 2 dot name is Julie and object 1 dot name is John. And at last we have hello world, right? That's the same hello world. Clear about the the data type for object 1 name is string and the data type of object 2 name is string, but the data is John and Julie. The class will give you the structure, means it will give you the data type, this is the common data type, it will give you that only, but the object only have the exact data what you want. You say that I should have string, but I can own my string. I can have John, I can have Selva, or I can have Raj. It's up to me, the data up to me, but the data type as you said. Clear about class and object now? Am I clear? So that we'll go on to next part. Okay. This about and class and object. Now we're going to do something more. I just created another class in the same thing. I'm going to create the same class. Now I'm going to create emp, then inside I created the same thing. I'm going to do the same thing, but all those things in another class. See now, is that visible now? See here, now I have one class name known as hello world, right? Another, excuse me, another class name as what? Emp. Now emp have the two data types. What are the two data types emp have? String and id. Hello world have no data types. Now if I call this the same, will object 1 have the name as string? It will gives me an error. Why? Because hello world doesn't have any data type. Only emp have the data type. Now clear that? Just the same scenario here, but insane I have been created an hello world class. Just give me a minute. Hello world class, and I don't have anything, nothing data types inside. Clear? It's like an empty class. Okay. Again I created hello world, means I created emp here, and now it have the data type. emp here, and it have the data type of name and string. If I created objects for hello world and I'm calling name, it doesn't have any property, so it will give me an error. Okay, it give me that can't find the symbol. What is the symbol you are giving? What is name? What's name? I don't know. So in order to know I am in hello world, but I want the property of emp, then I need to create object for emp, not for hello world. Clear about this? This is the exact doubt asked by Jyoti Anand, that in order to I have many classes, multiple class can I combine? So this is how it going to happen. Hello world is one class. It don't have any property. It have only void main. But all properties reside inside emp. Clear? Is that emp is all correct? Yes. Now if I run, I'm running in hello world only, but I'm using the property of emp class. Clear about what I'm saying? In before scenario, I created only one class. In that one class, I call the property and I call the class properties and I call the data types and datas. Now I have another class which is emp. Emp will have all the data types. Emp will have the property. Hello world won't have any property, but I'm calling emp inside hello world and I'm assigning some data and getting the output. Is that clear now? Is that clear? May I know with an thumb symbol? Yeah. Okay. So now this emp is another class which will have the data type now. This hello world won't have any property, but it will have this property inside this class and it will use it. So that will go next slide. So this how it works on. So the class will combine with another class property and it will use the property of that class inside this class if you have the object. That's what I said. Object is now a physical entity. Why I'm saying this as physical entity? Because object 1 will have string as common. Object 1 and 2 have string as common. But object 1 name is Julie, as I said before. As I said before, like char. Char is common. Class char is common for everyone. I can have yellow color char. My friend can have pink color char. So both char is common, but the both char color are different. The datas are different, but the both description and both the data types is common. That's how the class and objects works on. Is that class and object is quick? So I covered almost good sum of class and object. So we'll go into next topic. If that's so, I'll go into the next topic, which is somewhat interesting topic. Okay with this?
Yeah.
Okay. The next thing we're going to see is about methods. Let it be here itself, and we're going to give some methods. What is method? Method we say is functions also. So what is function? Function is like, so what will do in function? uh, Take real world function. I'm going to attend some function. So first they will give me an invitation where I need to go, where I need to attend, at what time, right? After I'm getting the invitation, I will go at that time towards that area. I won't go normally, right? If it is a marriage, I'll go with a gift that we say as parameter. Okay. So what are the technical words I'm using? We'll just note it down so you'll understand. First thing, I will have invitation, right? Then I will go to the function with some gifts. Then I have some time there, right? I'll spend time there, like visiting my colleagues there or attending the marriage function. That I will have some time. Then I can eat lunch. Or most probably every marriage will provide me some lunch, right? So I'll process something, I'll eat something. At last I will return, means I'll come to my home with one bag, which is coconut bag, right? So these are the four things we'll do in function. If we just cover these four things now, that is the coding functions also. If you have invitation, that is call function we say, means where I need to go, that we say as call function. And gifts are the parameters which I am passing. If I am passing some parameters like integer and char, that is the gift I'm taking from my home towards the function. So I am passing from me towards the function. have some time there. That is the body of the function. So I'm going to spend some time there, which is the body of the function. I will come with something like a bag with a coconut or something. I'm going to come that we say is return, which is return type or return values. Clear about functions now? Functions are both common as my real world also. Will we, with invitation we go to the function, which is call function, we'll go to the function. We can take some gifts, or else I can't take some gifts. And sometime will, if gifts not sufficient, we'll take some money with us to give. That also means data type, whatever data type I can take and go. And body of the function is the time I spend there. Like some, I'll spend there for 1 hour or half an hour. And the return type is the returning of that function. We'll implement here now. So I am going to call a function known as add. Okay, I'm going to call a function which is add. So I'm going to create a function which is add. It not going to take anything. It going to print in function. I'm in function. It should have a data type, return type, which is void. Okay, we'll execute it. So we'll find out. Before that, we need to create an object for it. I forgot. Hello world. See here. This one statement, I created object which you already know. I create an object. Through object, I am calling one function. What function it is? It is an add. So if I change the name, it will call another functions. Now I need to go towards this add function first. So I am calling add function. I am not written anything. I didn't send anything. I'm going with bare hands. So no parameter passed. Here also no parameter received. I call the function, and this is the body of the function, right? I'm spend some time here. If I call the function, the the compiler will jump from here to here, and it will start running this. Again it will jump towards here. For example, if I am stating is a system dot out dot println or uh, end. Okay, if I do that, now you'll understand what the exact thing is goes on. After object, I'm calling this function, so it not going to next line. It jumps from here to here, and it does the function thing. As of spending some time in function, again it return towards the main and start executing the next line. As I said, all the things are satisfied, right? Invitation, the call function has been came. Parameters, I didn't pass any parameters, and I spend some time in body of the function, and again I am returned it. So here, what if I spend some, I'm going with some parameters, I'm going with the parameter as 2. I need to receive the parameter int a. Okay, and here I can use it a. See here, I send a parameter which is 2 here, which is received in the function, and the function uses the parameter. So I get the output as 2 here. Clear about thing what I'm saying? So this is the basic about the function. The function should be send some parameters, and the function should receive the parameter, and it should use the parameter, and also I can return it. So return a plus 2. Okay, which I going to be store in int b. Okay, and I am printing the b. See, I didn't collapsed it. Just a minute, we'll go line by line. I created an object here. I'm calling a function. Okay, so calling a function with an value as 2 here. So the 2 is passed over this a, and this will print as I am in function as the value. Again I'm saying to return from function, you return some values. The values are a plus 2. So already a is 2. Now I'm saying plus 2, which is 4. Return will return the value here. In place of h dot add, it will have 4 now. So b value is 4, and it will have the output as end as 4. Clear about what I'm saying? So return means returning The function, okay, sorry, I forgot to put semicolon. Must, you need to put semicolon in everywhere. It should have 1 minute. If the returning a data, and it must mention what data type I'm returning. Public int, I'm going to return an int data type, so it must be an integer data type to return. Clear about what I'm saying? The thing is, I'm sending a data here and receiving the data here. I'm doing some process here. After that, I'm returning some data, and that data is going to be stored here, and that data I can use it again. This is the function. Function clear? Function, in other words, we say as methods. Clear about functions and methods? Is that clear? So we will go on next. Okay. Our next thing, we're going to go only scanners. I'll quit some array of object, because array of object will give you more time to go with. You have some personal study with array of object. I'm going to explain you about string, which is means this one, scanners, and we'll go on. Import util, we'll go what a scanner is. Scanner is the thing which uses, which gets input from the output. Say if I give scanners, it's like scanf. In C and C++, you have a keyword known as scanf. Means it will get the input from the user. So here it use java.util package, and it will get input from the output stream. Clear? So here I'm just need to get input from the output stream. So I need to put import java.util.scanner. Scanner must be capital S. Okay. In object, so I'm going to delete everything, every function, all those things. The basic class, inside class, I'm going to get output from, means I'm going to get data from the output stream. The syntax of the object, means scanner, is you need to import scanner, and you need to write this one line. This is very golden line, which is scanner object equal to new scanner, in order to scan this. So scanner, so what the general real-time scanner will do, if we give the data over the scanner, it will scan and it will take into the system, right? That's going to do. If you put Xerox shop, you're going a Xerox shop and giving a paper, you're saying to Xerox it, they will keep the Xerox over the scanner and start, and it will scan whole data and take a copy and give to the system. If you want how many copies, you can take how many copies. That's the same in this coding also. If I'm using scanner, scanner will scan the data and get into your system. So from this screen, still now I didn't use this screen, now I'm going to use this screen and get data from here to here. Scanner S is an object, just new scanner of system dot in. Int a, which is equal to sc dot next integer. It's very simple. I created an object for scanner. In scanner, I'm saying that just scan next integer I type. Okay, what the integer I'm typing next, just scan it and get into the data into the A part. Okay, I'm now printing the A part. System dot out dot println of A. I'll just give some words so you'll understand. This number is A. Clear? I'm just printing it. What I have been enter, I'm going to print it again. For example, I'm just execute it. I think semicolon all given. Okay. The main thing is I create a scanner object as small s. So I should have the small s, or else it should be object should be case sensitive. Okay. These are the small mistakes. If you done, these are the ways you need to create. See here, it asking me some input now. So I am giving one input as 5 and enter. It will give me output. Still now I didn't use this area. Now it's the first time I'm using this area. Clear? Scanner is the thing which will scan the data from this area, get into the system, and will process the data and put it out. So this scanner will scan the data from output screen, and it will process the data and throw it again the data towards the output screen. This we say as dynamic data entry. Why we say is dynamic data entry? One time if I'm entering, I can defer the data. Now I'm now need to give 5. If I give 8, it will also run. Again, if I'm giving here as a 15, then it will give me the process in different date. This programming we say as dynamic program. Okay. What if like I'm not going like this? I'm eliminating scanners. Okay. Scanners, this one, I'm eliminating data from it. I'm slightly putting int a equal to 5. Okay. How many types if I run, the output is only 5. Clear? No, just a minute. Now how many times I am going to run this code, the output only 5, because it is static. Once defined is defined. But here, if I use scanners, it is dynamic. Each and every time I can give new data. First time I can give data as 10, I can get an output. Second time if I can use as 12. Sorry, not here. 12, I can get an output 12. So this is dynamic programming. Scanners will give you dynamic programming. So each and every time if you run a coding, you can give new data. Clear about class and object and scanners and functions and methods? Is that clear or not? Any, give me just acknowledgement of it just cleared or not. So that I'm just wind upping the Java classes now. I'll say 2 to 3 logics. So how we can pass this ILP at crucial time. I didn't get any help on that ILP time. You are in the exam. You didn't get any idea of how you should clear the coding, but you want to clear the coding. With what way I can clear the coding? That I'm going to say now and wind up the Java section. Okay. And the persons who need to know about more ILPA sections, what are the topics I need to cover, or this the topics you need to cover: class and objects, array of objects, methods, and scanners and strings. Almost I covered the 3 topics. I left over arrays and objects and strings. You just cover by your own while creating ILP. Now the persons who I wish to clear the ILP but I don't know coding at all, means I'm not that much coder. I didn't get help while coding also, so I need to clear the ILP. So this how your same. This is the structure you will get when you got your ILP coding. It will say that create a class with the following attributes. So integer, floor, ID, like that. The question would like that. Is that clear? This visible? Is the screen is visible or yeah, it's this is. So this is the coding you will get. Like it will says that create a class and you need to create a class. Until here it is class description. First you need to map what are the information where it is. First this half will have the information about class and what you need to create. And the second class, after creating the class, it will say you need to implement. Here it says only one method to implement. Just find method, and this is the description of the method you need to use. Okay. Then at last, any constraints you want, that you will get. For example, for this method, if you don't have an object or return value is null, then you need to print there is no floor with given type. So clear about 3 things inside. One thing is class and their attributes, and second thing is how many methods I need to includes and what the method description, and the last thing is constraints. We'll go another coding, so you'll get an idea that what I'm saying is correct or not. So this is another coding which is cinema. See here, this is the class and class description. Okay. Then I said it have 2 static methods. So what are the static methods? One is find average budget, another one is get movie budgeting. So two class description. Okay. Then all the constraint. If you missed out, see, two movie object have the same value, what I need to do. If the object does not have, see here, if the method does not gives you the budget, so you need to print as sorry the driver has. So these are the constraints which you need. First you need to map the 3 sections. First creating class section, second mapping what are the static methods you have, and third what are the constraints, and last part is your input and output part. It have 2 things, 2 input and 2 output you have common. Here he missed out one input thing. Sure, you will have 2 input cases. So this is an output, sorry, headset song. So these are the IPA codings that have been faces for still far. See here, these are the 2 input. Every IPA exams will give you 2 sample input. Yeah, where can I find the sample questions? Yeah, I'll send you a link there. Before there is one link, right? In that link you can see all these questions. Please feel free to find these questions in that link. Okay. And every questions have two sample input. One sample input will give you what the input is and what output you need. Okay, this is public test case 1. And if you have sample input 2 and what output you need, this is public test case 2. Clear? You have two sample inputs and you will have two sample outputs. Now you'll get an idea. So I don't know what exact code I have. I don't know what it need to do also. I can clear ILPA by this small logic number 1. The thing is, input 1, first time it will get an input as 1 2 3. Let's take first ideology of this class class will create a class class, and it will have an ID, name, price, rating and type of the flower. This 5 details it going to get for 5. IPA and PRA questions are same. Yes, it's definitely IPA, PRA are same. Uh, it is almost same. The thing you'll get in IPA and PRA are same. Yeah. Uh, how to say IPA PRA is the same exam if you write the exam before joining the TCS, which is IPA. If you join exam and writing the exam, that is PRA. That's the difference. Okay. And the benefit is, if you are writing the exam before joining TCS, it is so intense. You need to study for it. But if you clearing the PRA after joining TCS, there are some staffs would help you without, or else you can use mobile phones in examination on that time. I think so, not publicly, not see this I giving disclaimer, you don't put my name that John said to use mobile phone on examination. It's not that much serious about, but there are some allegations or some limitations to use phone in examination hall in PRA. And second main thing is, PRA won't no one mind, because if you clearing IPA before joining examination, you clearing the code, then you will get intensive of 20,000 to 40,000. But if you clear the same examination after joining, you won't get any rewards, but you will get the clearance certificate. Means you are clear the IP. That is the only difference between IP and PRA. There is no such good difference rather than this. The only thing, if you are writing this exam before joining TCS, then you will get an reward and you will get an clearance report. But if you are after joining clearing the same exam, then you are free to go towards the project, which is readiness examination. Yeah. See here in FLAS, you have 5 things you need to enter. So logic 1 is, if I have 1 2 3, I need to give output as 2 1 3. Or else if you I am getting, see, both 1 2 3 1 2 3 is common here. So I am not going to use this logic. So I can use Ellie Chulo Lily, that also same, and 3000, that also same. In this case there is one difference between both the scenario, that add which type. Sorry, the question is error. I'm really sorry about this. The question is error in this. Hmm. Let's take one thing. Here input first time it is entering 1. I don't know the logic. I don't know nothing about coding. I only know that input 1 will have 1, and also it will give output as 4312. Okay, just write the code like this. The same. Leave this import static void main. You need to create an class for it. You need to get input. If the input, see here, see the code, if first input is 1, then I need to print 4312. Okay, so go here, just write this code. If a equal to 1, what I need to do, system dot out dot print ln of 4. Clear? 4. Just write all those test cases. You need to have 4, sorry, end. What are the things now? 4 3 1 2, right? You need to put 4 3 and 1 and 2. See now, this is the code for one test case fill. If you didn't, if this code you are writing that code in this coding part, which is this code is sim. If I'm writing, I didn't write the whole 70 lines, 70 to 120 lines code. I just write an only how many lines, 16 lines of code. If I run this, if I give input as 1, it going to give me the output, because here also the first input will give only 1. Okay, and second input, if it is giving us 3, then I can put another thing else, the second test case else. Okay, put the same, the second test case. I'm getting the second test case, just a minute. In this code there is no second test case. In some code I'm searching for a good code which have the test case 2, test case 2, different test cases. Ah, this is also one test case. In this, the person who did this is copied only half of the question, still half is missing. You have, sure, you have two test cases for each and everything. So that's the thing, simple. You need to write the second test case output in this area. Okay, for example, second test case, if I give as 2, for example, I'm saying this else if I give a which is equal to 2. Okay, then I need to print, for example, I'm saying that, for example, if a code says that if the first output is not 1, it need to have the, if I'm entering 2, it need to give output as 1, 1 5 7 and 9. Clear? With this one code, which is only the length of 20 lines, I can clear two test cases. Clear? If I give as 1, it will start clearing first test case. Okay, if I give the test case as 2, then it will give the second test case output. So two public test cases is clear with no logic and no nothing. Only you need to see what test case first line is, what test case second line is. You need to put, if that is this, do this output. If that is else, that is this, do this output. And last, in else part, if you put system, if nothing, you're going to have system dot out dot print ln. I said right, there will be one constraint, like if you give null. See here, if else, if it is null, you need to print as what, there is no data type. Okay, this structure you need to have at the else part. Clear about what I'm saying? These three things you need to do. So in this one logic, you can clear three test cases. I did some error here. I forgot to put semicolon. Okay, clear? If, for example, I'm just run it. You don't need to give an input because system will do it. If I give 1, it will give 1 output. Okay. If I give 2, it will give 2 output. If the system gives nothing, like anything or 0 or null or any alphabet, it will give there is no false. So in this one logic itself, you can clear 3 test cases out of 5, means half of the mark you will get, even not knowing the logic, even not knowing what is class and object. You don't know nothing, means you don't know what the question is exactly, but you can clear three test cases with this one logic you are writing. And this is very good logic, is the last part logic. With this one logic, sure, you will clear one test case, because every test case they will keep one constraint that will say as null, means this, in every coding you will see this two lines. If that happen, you need to do this. If nothing good code it have, then you need to return like this. If that not satisfy my condition, you need to return like this. There will be one constraint. Please copy the constraint and put it at the last else. Okay, so sure, damn sure you can clear two public test cases, one private test case with this one logic. No idea about coding and no idea about what question you have, irrespective towards your coding, irrespective towards your logic, but you can clear the code with this three options. Is that clear what I said? So this is the code, this is the very good code I'm going to share. like how you going to handle even you don't know the coding. Clear about this part? You need to put test case 1 and you need to put the output what it says. Every output not like this, some output like little different. For example, I'll take phone example, and first out taking first question, phone will give me output as this two things, right? So you need to put that two output in this area. Clear? System dot out dot printing of that two, and last second part here and the coding part here. With this you will clear around 50 percentage of your code, which means around 35 mark you will get 15 17 marks, 17 to 18 marks in this one. Okay, and the first logic, and what is the first coding? Even first coding also I don't know anything. First coding is very simple, you can get it from internet itself. If it is not, I'm not getting the logic, write this like this syntax. First test case and second test case clear with this both if and else, and last with last if you have put that constraint, and you can clear three test cases with simple logic. Clear? And I give you assurance that in first IL means IPA examination, I don't know that much coding. I'm very new to Java. On that time, I use this logic for both the things. I clear 55 plus without any logical idea. I don't know any logical insight. I don't read the code that much. I did only this logic. Clear both three test cases in both codings. I get a mark. So this logic I need to share with you, so that don't panic. In some time in IPA you will get panic that no one assessed me on that time, I don't know what to do. On that time just have this ideology, so I can clear it. It's not like that without coding I can't clear IPA. With this logic also you can clear the IPA with one good test cases. Even public test case won't have validation mark. You can get a validation mark with this one case, which is else case. Clear what I'm saying? This else case you can get one logic setup. So clear about Java codings and Java core concepts. So without coding also you can clear ILPA 55 plus by giving this logical idea. This section I allocated for Q&A section. Again post this link for you, and this link, a good thing it have the solution also. How you need to use this link? So today I plan for give many ideas for you, but it is saturation point. This meeting has reached the saturation point. If I going to talk for further 10 to 15 minutes, so everyone will wind up and say tata goodbye to me and go out, right? I know it. So I'll stop this here. So what are the core concepts next you need to know is getter and setter. This part we say as getter and setter. I'm going to get a value in this constraints, and I can set the value in this constraint. For the person who is so interested for Java, I'm saying that you need to know the concepts of getter and setter. You need to know what is constructor is. This is we say as constructor. Okay.
That చేసి అవును మెసేజ్ వచ్చింది మరి అదే పెట్టినా నేను పెట్టినా పెట్టినా ఇగో
Yeah.
టీమ్స్ కాపీ చేసి పేస్ట్ చేసింది లింక్ ఆ
Yeah. Hello. Is that anything important? Any issues or anything? You can ask me now. Yeah. Okay. So the person who so interested in Java, I'm just saying the things you need to cover up now. Means in further classes, you can cover up getter and setter. What is getter and setter? And you can cover what is constructor, parameterized constructor. This we say is parameterized constructor. And second main important thing is array of object. What is array of object? Okay. And main thing, I'm clear with all. And what is the exact point you will get ILPA is only with this area. All the string concepts. You won't get any than string concept. I give 100% assurance that if you are clearing IPA, or if you are getting any questions in IPA, everything is string related. It will be like sort the data and get minimum value, sort the data and get maximum value, almost sorting, and very basics like find the minimum value of prices. If you just go through all the IPA questions here, it only state two things. It saying the sorting values or find the minimum. Let's see here, find the total price for given brand. You need to do auto summation here. Find that another one is what? Another method. Find available headset with second minimum price. I said right. Always will be sorting and getting minimum or maximum values or average or sum. These are the five things it will cover. For the person who are concentrated in Java, I'm saying this. Okay. For the persons who are wishing to clear IPA with good, I'm not that much in depth. I want only to clear. I shared this code. So what you need to do after getting this, on that time you can type the code here, means the question here. I need to know floor, means the question you need to type, not only the word. You need to type the question. If you get search, then it will show which code you want, or else I don't know what it is. If there is in every question, there will be one label. Clear? In the question, see here, create a class known as autonomous car. Okay, just come to this link. See here, all the codings have the name: flower, engine, fruit, associate, institute, invader. Like that, all the classes you're going to create are labeled here. So you are going to see the question there, what the question it have. Just taking that, come towards here and search for, I'm getting cinema. Okay, this is the cinema. Going into the cinema and seeing the question, is that question same? Checking that the input and the getting questions are the same. And I'm going to the Java field, Java code. I'm going to type this code inside your system, get mark, and getting 35%. Clear about it? Means 35 marks in one code. Clear about what I said? This is the last step I'm going to say. I'm not suggest you to do this because your achievement you need to achieve it, but you need to clear. For now, you need to clear IEPA, which is very proper. Just a minute. I guess blabbing. Priority is more is that you need to clear the IPA rather than getting or setting. That's different. First thing you need to clear is what to clear an IPA. For that, this shortcut I am giving to you. Just go into this link and type for what coding you want, and you will get the code, and just type. If you are getting a new code, okay, I don't know that code is not here or not, feel free to on that time we'll see what we can do. Almost you will get an code on that time, because there are faculty who will help you on that time. Okay, they will suggest you or they will guide you with some codings on that time, but I can't give you assurance. If not, I am just vexed. I'm not getting any help. I'm so intense that I won't get any help, or I won't get, means go for this logic. Don't give the coding as it is and close the system and come. At least try this logic. If you are getting 65% is well and good. You can show that report that I am clearing. I am in the track of clearing. Getting 0 or 20 is worse than getting 65, right? So just write this logic and get clear of some marks, and you can show for the higher authorities that I clear somewhat, some ideology I've been clear. I'm in the track that I'm cultivating my codings. Okay? So with this good information, it's the section came to reach at the last part, QA section. If you have any doubt, you can feel free to ask me. And now I just post this link to you. Again, I'm posting this link. So this is not the only questions. You can search for going to GitHub for further questions. I'm saying going to GitHub and type IPA here, IPA examination. You can get n number of things. But I really like this one person because with his effort, see the credit goes to this person. Have been given me all those this content. He just getting all the answers for past days, and he just given a repository of each and every questions which could name label, and he given a question with answers also, which is so helpful for me to clear all those things. Yeah. So with this piece of information, my section has been wound up, and now I'm entering to the last part of QA section. If you have any questions regarding or any doubts, you can ask me now, or else I'll just wind up with 5 minutes. How many attempts for PRA? Yeah, PRA you can see if you are attending before the joining date. Every 1 month you will get an attempt. I have been attend PRA for 6 times. Okay, this is before joining. Now you can attempt for 3 times. The next Thursday you can attend PRA. Then again 2 times you can attend the PRA. And recently I have been heard that they are changing the syllabus. This how much intense I don't know. Even though they change, they won't change the coding part ideology and all, because it is hard for them to change, because it is already predefined. The only thing here is everything is predefined here. They are, if suddenly they can't change everything, because it is very traditional and server has been fixed for it. So if they are asking you to clear, the server has been already fixed, so they can't change it often. That's why for fast 6 to 8 years the pattern is same. The pattern what you are getting, like 5 sections in MCQs and 2 codings in Java, irrespective to the coding, some will get .NET, some will get Java, or some will get Python. That is irrespective, but the syntax, the syllabus framework is same. So the attempts are 3. You're going to have 3 in this 4 coming days. Any other questions regarding, or else I'll just wind up in 1 minute. Sharp 11:25. I just wind up this section. Just a minute. I just close.